All right, welcome back to Trainwreck Games. We're here still doing Husky 8. We are now officially on the 17-18 July turn. And Blown Bridge, I don't think we ended up using that. So let's get right into it. So again, sequence of play. I know I keep saying I'm going to start just running through some turns, but I'm having fun. 2, this gets me to do the turns. 3, I'm still testing stuff in the background, so I don't know if any of it actually matters, but okay, so roll for weather. German player rolls. We're going to take the German die. We're going to roll a 2. Now a 2 on the weather table is clear, so we're going to get 3 allied naval points. I'm going to move this to clear. It's going to be a -1 to the axis for, I think, their movement points because they're getting jammed up by sort of abstracted allied air and whatnot. Second step, roll for supply and replacements. Each player rolls so each side is going to roll their dice. The allies roll a 10, so they're going to get 6 supply points, which, I mean, at this point, they're at like 19. I don't know if I'm just not attacking enough. I feel like in games, there's things that are trying to tell you without overtly telling you, and I think the fact that I've maxed this out might be telling me maybe I'm not doing enough now, or maybe later on as things get, I don't know, more. Anyway, the Axis rolled an 8, which is no replacements, so I'm not going to get any allied replacements. I'm going to get the max on supply. So that's step 2. Step 3, reinforcements. Both sides place new units onto their entry locations. So for this turn, I don't know if we have any reinforcements. I think the next turn we've got a little bit coming in. I would have to double check. I thought, we've got a bunch of, you can't really see them. I've got a bunch of units down here that could come in. Let me see. I've got like, do I have any ports? I need a port for armor. And I think I've got one here. Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have an armor come in at the port. I don't know if there's a limit to how many that can come in. I mean, I've got a whole backlog of units that have not been able to come in. Reinforcement schedule. Let me just quickly take a look. Okay. So, this is going to be awkward. I just realized something doesn't seem to be working. So the way I see it is that they can, the reinforcement card says that allied units can enter 1 unit per beach per turn. So I assume that as soon as they become available in the pool, I can just start feeding them in. And let's do that. So we'll have one go there. That's a port. I've got, that port's destroyed, so that's not going to help. Is that a beach? No, that's the port. That might be a beach. Yeah, so basically I'm just going to start sticking units on here. Americans come in here. Bump. These arrows are beaches, so I'm just going to start landing. So not that it matters. So I have a key that lets me pause the recording, which saves me a lot of time in edit. And for some reason, it's not working. So anyway, that doesn't impact you. It just means it'll take me a little longer to get this up. What else can we do? We can send, here's another 544. We'll send them there. These were British, but I think Americans can land here as long as the British land further east. There's a rule that says basically the British can't land further west than the Americans, but let's stick some Brits. There's one there. Just gonna flood the zone, so to speak. I don't believe we have a port yet for these guys. Got 2 more. Let's yeah, so I don't know if it needs to be this restrictive, like Brits here, Americans here. Oh, we got a couple more beaches over here. Can we get more Americans? Yeah, we got more Americans. Let's bring them on. I feel like I've sort of done due diligence over there. Should be kind of clear. Maybe get some artillery going. That port's destroyed, so that means a vehicle can't land there, but does that mean we can nothing land there? I'm gonna have somebody land there. Okay, so we'll just call that the reinforcements. Next is the card event phase, and let's flip that card and see what happens. Again, if you remember, there's specific rules for solo. The weather turns immediately change the current turn's weather to clear. Cannot be played to negate a major storm. It's already unclear, so we won't worry about that. Okay, so that's the card event phase. Next is the allied player turn. Air phase. Place any available air units on the desired target. So because it's clear, I should have all available air. So we've got 6 chits there. We've got 3 for the 3 for the Axis. So I was sort of thinking about this a little bit, and a couple of things. One, I feel like I'm not making progress. I feel like I should be pushing. I don't know what I should be doing, but I feel like I'm not doing enough of it. And that's sort of my problem with war games, because I'm bad at them. It doesn't jump out to me clearly exactly what I should do. My initial impression was take a port for the Brits. This take a port or 2 for the Americans, but then that port got destroyed. Can you repair ports? Maybe with a card. Anyway, but this feels like this is going to be a tough nut to crack. So do I bypass it and then go for Augusta? Now, Augusta is going to be a 2 hex city, so that's worth 2 victory points, so to speak. It's got better terrain surrounding it. But, I mean, cities are going to be a tough nut to crack. That's the whole point, right? Or do I start just pushing up and just taking what I can? Just to knock out units and sort of make it a little easier? I have no idea. So let's apply some air units. What are the Americans going to do? Or I guess the Allies. It's really annoying that the record pause button is not functioning at the moment. Oh, you know what it is? I'm shooting myself in the foot. I switched file formats to try recording in a higher file format to see if it helped with the image quality at all. And I imagine that makes it impossible to pause the recording. I did that to myself. Okay. So the Americans, we've got a couple things going on. We're dealing with some stuff here. We're dealing with some stuff here. The Americans, the Allies. We've got stuff here, but it's not particularly strong. It's a bunch of artillery without any help. And so I'm wondering if the real thing is like, there's no way they're going to come and start knocking us out. Do we just go this way, let them have the coast for the time being? And I don't know if we can cut off supply. I'd have to double check the supply rules. I know Messina is an important supply point for the Axis. So anyway, let's see how this goes. Yeah, I have to say, if this this file quality isn't vastly superior, and I have a feeling it won't be, I think I'm just gonna go back to the way I was doing it. It's fun to learn all this background stuff, but yeah, I don't. The important thing is that I make it easy, or else this is gonna turn into a slog and I won't be able to do it. Okay, so air units, Axis air units, Allied air units. Let's start. You know what? Let's we're gonna put a pin in this, and we're gonna start moving air units first. So I got to figure out, where do I want to attack? Let's see if we can hit this guy. So I'm gonna put a couple of air units there. See if we can hit some of these guys. Whoops, just flip that over, so now I know. So now I gotta look away and shuffle. Before we get too crazy, fucking A, I might have just fucked up this whole recording. I don't know if I was just muted. So what we're gonna do is we've got, put a couple, try and hit this guy. We'll try and hit, we need to deal with some of this stuff over here. I think we can get this spat sort of on an edge to get some flanking bonuses. So we got 2 there. And then I think we can do the same. We'll see if we can hit this 1//HG. So we'll put 2 there. So now the allies are going to do their best. 1, 2, 3. Again, I don't know if this is how any of it works. Next is the combined phase. Airborne regiments may combine into their parent divisions. We're not going to do any of that. So now we got to move. So we move all the units. The ones coming in, we move at the end. I know I've been sort of doing that slapdash, but I'm going to make a point to try and get that correct this time. So, okay, we need to get this guy. So I think we're looking at some hill 1 terrain. We're gonna have rivers. We'll make this guy the point of attack, and then the flanking bonuses will come from across the river. So let's move him. Got 4 movement points, and we can move hill 1 terrain is just 1 point. So that's not a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal even for armor. So we'll move the armor out of the port. So now we've got sort of 3 going around. They went across a river. So that was 1, 2, 3. They could even go here. They went 1. Move them there. We're going to really beat up on this unit if we can. And this guy is 3. You can go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Because again, crossing the river adds 1. Man, you know, it's a little annoying. Like trying just 10% adds so many ways to screw all this stuff up. Like, you know, forgetting to unmute my mic, getting these stupid pop-ups up so I can more easily make sure I know what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, so we got that going. We got that movement. Movement here. Do we need to, I don't know if we can get people up there. These guys are coming in, but they don't come in till the end. What about moving here? Let's start. They can go 1, 2. Is it oh, you know what? Where are they coming from? Let's see. Let's have these guys move up the road. These guys can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is not bad. Just gonna try and get something going there. So let's see if I can. Bonk. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. Can't go there because that's going to cost 2, and I've only got 1 point left. Do I have artillery to help? They would need to be within 2 hexes, so I could get them there, right? 1, 2, 3. So now they can help there. Basically, there's 2 things. I pause when I want to look at the rules, and that cuts out a lot of editing. And then I mute because my voice goes very quickly. So those are two things that I can screw up. Now, the pause doesn't work anymore at the moment, which might be a good thing. And then the mute, I think I screwed up once. Okay, so we got that. I think this artillery could... I'm going to move this artillery inland to get them away from there. These guys are going to come on and start blocking there. Is there any other moving I want to do? What about these guys? These guys need to do something because they need to get out of the way. 1, 2... Highway's going to move fast, so they'll go 1, 2, 3, 4-ish. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. These guys will go from here. Where were they? Here? They could go 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. Why not? We also got to clear the beaches, which I'm not doing. This is a 4, so they got to get out of the way. They're going to go... Just move them there. They're still in range. Can these guys 1, 2? They can get in range. These guys need to get off the beach. 1, 2, 3. Move them there. Okay, so now we got a bunch that can hit here. Got a bunch that can hit here. This, I was trying to, oh no, these guys are going to land, but I'll have some artillery that can help there. Allied points. Yeah, it's not going to be worth it though. Oh well. Okay, so now we move people onto the beach. Did I screw this up? These guys are coming into the port. Oh, that's not a beach. Yeah, they land there. They land there. They're going to come into this destroyed port. They're going to land there. Might have run out. I'm going to... These guys are going to... Yeah. Instead of these guys landing, I'm going to have these guys land. Okay. Get the Brits on their beaches. I could probably stick one more. I could stick another guy there. Do I have another Brit? I mean, why not? Right, there we go. Okay, so we've done movement. Now we do combat. So we're going to do start here. So we've got our Axis air, which is for real. Allied air, which is, 2 for real. So the allies are going to get a little bonus. So we've got a bonus against this guy. So, all right, we've got... We're going to be attacking with this 4. So So we got 4 on the attack, 4 on the defense. They are in Hill 2. Can they be on Hill 2? Can they be on Hill 2? Yes, because it's a road. Okay, I didn't know if they needed to be on a highway, but yeah, so they're on Hill 2. So a Hill 2 gives a +2 to combat. So, so they're going to be a 6 on combat to my 4. Now you're asking, why am I not attacking with a 5? Because it's across a river. And a river would add more to combat. So we're at 6 to 4, but we've got flanking bonuses here and here. So that's 6 to 6. Now we've got artillery from here, 1, 2, which is a 4. So that's going to be 10 to 6. And the air bonus is 11 to 6. So we're at a -5 for the axis, +5 for the ally. So that might be bad. Not too bad. So on a -5, the axis rolled a 1. That's nothing. +5, the axis rolled a 5, which is a hit. So we're going to take this guy. We're going to flip him over. At least we did something, right? Okay, get that off. Next one is we were going for this 1/HG. Let's see what's going on with the Axis Air. We got a decoy for the Axis Air. Do the allies have anything going on? Decoy. Okay, they got 1. And now could we even use, I think this was too far inland, but I think 1, 2, 3. Oh, so that I need to spend a supply point for that attack. This attack's going to cost a supply point. I think I can use a naval point for this one because it's within 4 hexes of shore. So, okay, so we've got the attack coming from this guy, the 5-4, because it's not across a river. So we got a 5 to a 3. The terrain here is Hill 1. Hill 1, or is it clear? I think that's Hill 1. So their defense goes from a 3 to a 4. We've got a flanking bonus. They don't get a flanking bonus because they're... could they? Might just be these two. So it's 5 to... You know, I should probably check that out. Let me just double check. I don't know if you can do a flanking bonus if you are adjacent to another unit. I believe that's how it works. So... let's just double check. Yeah, okay. So we've got 5 to 3, 5 to 4, 6 to 4, 7 to 4, 8 to 4, 9 to 4. So again, it's a 5 column. Let's see. The Axis rolls a 5 on the -5 column, which I don't think is going to do anything. The Allies roll a 2. 1, 2. They just miss. That's a real bad luck. Okay. So nothing happens there. I was hoping to finish that guy off. Didn't happen. So now for this, what are we going to do? I think what we're going to do is we're going to try and attack this guy. This one right here. This one is in Hill 1 terrain, so his defensive 2 is going to be a 3. Let's see. We have some Axis power. So the Axis and allies are going to, you got one plane, so they're going to cancel each other out. And yeah, so, okay, we got a 5 to 3. We've got 1, 2, I should have switched these. 1, 2, nope, still out of range. Okay, I was going to say that would have put them in range. They're not in range. But I am going to use a naval point. So I'm going to knock down my supply again. So this is going to go from a 5 to a 3 to a 6 to a 3. So it's a -3 column for the Axis. Really bad rolls. I don't think anything's going to happen there. 3 to 2 is nothing. 3, 2, nothing. Okay. Cool. So that's the Allied combat phase. Now we go to the Axis air phase. What do they want to do? What do they want to do? Where do they want to attack? Do they want to attack? They might, because again, like, the river jamming up the allies here is going to start jamming up the Axis here as well. So they can start moving across. But I don't know if they're going to want to... Like, they could do an attack here and get flanking bonuses here, but then they'd be leading the attack with, like, some pretty weak sauce. Got a lot of artillery. Maybe they go for an attack here. So that means, let me shuffle the Axis air. They'll put a couple of units here because they don't know. The allies will respond with, well, 3. Where else? The Axis are, they're not going to be able to pull much off here. Like, they could hit this guy, but they wouldn't get any flanking bonuses unless they led the attack. I mean, this attack is 2, that attack's 2. I guess it doesn't matter who they lead the attack with. Here, at least they'd get a flank. They'd get artillery support. Maybe 2. Can you do 2 artillery support? Up to 2 artillery units. Yeah, so they could get artillery. Yeah, so let's do an attack there. It's going to be against this unit here. They're going to throw everything in the kitchen sink at it. The allies will respond with, I guess, 3, because why not? Okay, so that's it for the air phase. So now the movement phase. So let's clear the way a little bit. I think they're trying to put an attack on here. So they're going to just basically cross the river. They've got 1 artillery unit here, 2 artillery. So these 2 artillery units can support. Let's get these guys moving. One, 2. They can provide. We're gonna have these guys move there. Let's bring these guys down. They're following the highway, so it should be easy to move. Let's bring these guys. 1, 2. 1, 2. Again, we're just marching him down the highway. 1, 2. So if I were smart, like, do I leave Messina unguarded? Because it's not like we're anywhere near it at the moment. Let's start bringing him down. 1, 2. 1, 2. One, 2. You know what? I'm gonna leave these guys up here. Just, I feel stupid leaving it completely unguarded. I don't know if that's right. I lost track of where I was coming from. Let's just call that the movement. Combat phase. Okay, we got a couple of fights going on. Let's start with this one, which was, we were going after this guy here. Now I can attack. That's a 9 to 4. The terrain here is a hill 2, so it's a 9 to 6. They're gonna get a flanking. Let's see if we get any Axis air, allied air. Woof. That's gonna cancel out. I got 2 allied to 2 Axis, so that's gonna cancel out. Okay, lucked out for the allies there. Okay, so now we've got. Going there again, it's a, whoops, 9, 10, 14. They're not going to get the flanking bonus. 14 to 6. Now, there's also a thing where you might get like a combined arms bonus. So right now we're at 14 to 6. It's not like we need it. Let me just double check. If the attacker has both a tank unit and infantry unit or motorized infantry in the same attack, if the defender has either an anti-tank, flak, or tank unit in the defending hex, then the bonus is negated. So I think this would generate that. So it might be a 15 to 6. That's a that's a -9, and it only goes up to 7. So you're rolling on the 7. So why am I not able to do this with the allies? I gotta start figuring this out. Both sides don't roll great, but I don't think that's gonna matter. For the Axis on the +7, it's gonna be a hit. For the allies, who cares? So we're gonna take this and we're gonna flip it. So there's that attack. This attack was gonna be, I think, on this unit. So let's see, we've got allied, got 2 planes, so there's no way it's a decoy, it doesn't even matter. Okay, so we were gonna hit this guy. Whoops, shit. Looks like it's in clear terrain, so they're not gonna get any bonus to their defense, but they are in a town. And towns give them a +2. So this is gonna be a 6. We're gonna be hitting with this 2. So it's 6 to 2, 6 to 3, 6 to 6, 9 to 6. So it's the -3 column for the Axis. Oh, they roll very well. So 8 on the -3. 8 on the -3, is it? Sorry, let me double check that. That's 6. It was -3 for the ally, so it's the +3 column for the Axis. They roll a hit. So let's flip this guy over. So it's sort of, you know, in the supply phase. What did I roll for them? A 5 on the -3 is not going to be anything. I kind of want the allies, you know, they were rolling really high on their replacements. I want to get replacements. I don't want to get supply points. I need to do some replacements. So hopefully that pays out next time. I think that's all I'm going to do for combat. I could do something here, I guess. You know, I could attack with a 3 to 2. So it'd be 5 to... why not? Let's do it. 5 to 2. It's a +3 column for the Axis. They get a 4 on the... Whoops, wrong side. On the +3 column, a 4 is going to be a hit. That might take care of them. Yeah. So now I got to remember, ally units might be able to be rebuilt. So I'll have to pay attention to that. Now the allies rolled a 6 on the -3. I don't think that's going to do anything. Yeah, that's a near miss. So I think that's it. So check for victory. Obviously, we haven't done victory. And that's going to be it for this turn. I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll do 2 turns. But now that I realize I can't pause recording and there's a lot of sloppiness, I'm going to have to go clean up. And this took longer than I thought because it's been a while. Again, like, you know, part of the journey is that I squeeze this in as I can. And it's honestly been over a week and a half since I last made a turn. I'm not able to plunk down and just really play for a while. And at least not yet. I got to see if I can figure out, you know, how to prioritize things so that I can really like dive in and roll up my sleeves and get into it so that I'm, you know, not fumbling around every time I sit down at the table because, yeah. Anyway, so yeah, this has been Trainwreck Games. This has been the 17th, 18th of July turn. And we're just chugging along. Hopefully I'll be able to get back to this sooner than I did last time. So thanks again for checking this out and take care. Bye-bye. The in-session music was provided by Tabletop RPG Music and composed by Ian Fisher. You can find the Patreon at www.patreon.com/tabletop RPG music. That's all one word.